I want to be part of it. Do you share that?
The market is making all-time highs. The market has taken off for whatever reason. So whoever wins,
what's wrong?
Yeah,
okay?
maybe the market will continue to go higher and higher.
Okay.
But the market's been going higher for a long time, the longest in American history. So one should at least be careful and question what's going on. We've had the longest period of American history without a big problem. That doesn't mean it can't go on for 50 years, but it never has.
Do you think that the U.S. market is more expensive for your taste compared to some of the other markets where perhaps there are other risks, but you find better value?
Well, the U.S. market is making all-time highs, but so is India, so is Japan, so is many places making all-time highs. Maybe one would say, well, wait a minute, if everybody's making all-time highs, maybe we should step back and worry. If the whole world can't be that successful and that prosperous all at the same time, at least it has rarely happened in history. And when it has happened in history, it has often led to problems.
I know.
So I'm skeptical of what's going on.
What are you
I am not sold short. I am not selling short yet, but I see what's happening.
Thoughts on interest rate policy? Someone asked it and said,
it's a good boy. What's wrong? What? You can go outside. I'm not going anywhere. Are you in pain? I'm here. I'm here. You can go back there. It's okay. I'm not going anywhere. Good boy. Good boy. It's a good boy. I don't know. I don't know if I'm on. I think I'm on. Ham will come as soon as I text him. He's eating something. I haven't eaten, so we'll see how I do. Ham will talk to you about everything you're thinking about. And it's Friday. And then, what's wrong, boy? Are you all right? I'm here. Even if you go around the corner, I'm still here. Are you missing somebody? What's wrong? You in pain? No, it's tough being a dog. It's tough being a senior dog. Good boy. I missed you. All right. So let's just go down the first viewers here, and then I'll text him. Hi, the one. Hi, Zizu. Darren, sorry. Gotta get this fixed. Hey, Eddie. P-Man. He seems all right. I just picked him up we walked over from my old neighborhood, which is hard for me. I loved that neighborhood. But anyway, he might be worn out because he's pretty old. I see John. Hey, Mr. Platinum. Hey, Charlie Mack. Hey, Just Mike. Remember the days of September. Hey, Brian. Hey, Robert. You've been away for a couple of months. Not that it matters, but I don't recognize that you've ever been here before. But hey, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Ham will come on, B. Mabros, and he'll update on everything. And then once he's done, if there's anything left over, I'll be glad to talk about. Does anyone know the short interest in RILY? I don't. RILY. RILY. Yep. Hello to you. Hey, Romero. Good morning. Lock them up. Lock up. Hey, Steve. Wow, you bought it 65 cents. Ham will tell you his logic, but that's 10x if you got some off at $6 or so. And that's what he's recommending: sell the rips, buy back on the dips. There may be more to go, but I don't think it'll last more than next week. Who knows? I mean, it's all speculation. So you're right to take profits. It's been a long time since we've had any, and you're right to lighten up. And while everyone's all excited, is a good time to sell, because the worst thing, Steve, will be after the loving and the stock just asks you to just leave. Yeah, recommend you. It did finally, but you know, it's not the only stock that has taken time. We've been in a bit of a, I mean, if you want to believe in the system, at a minimum, we can say we've been in a bear market for these type of stocks. Hey, Barbara. All right, I'm going to text him. What's Rimadyl? Oh, I'll try that. It's prescription, though. Rimadyl. I was going to try FUKITAL, but I never got a prescription. Hey, Lois. How are you? Florida. Wow. Scott? Jeff? Hey, John. All right, let me just text him, or I can call him. See if he's ready. All right, he'll call back when he's ready. I don't know where to start. A lot of different ideas, a lot of different thoughts, but let's get some prices. I should have eaten something, I can tell. But anyway, GDC is under 5. It's at 498. I think it's okay. Now it's 511. I think it's okay for me to talk about it now. Finger 194. Logic is, I think, pretty pounceable for a trade. And, you know, it's interesting. CAUD, I spoke by, you know, keyboard with the CEO. And I got to give him credit on something. He's childhood friends with the guy at OTC Markets, which is going to maybe change my attitude towards that guy, because I'm pretty impressed with Peter Boards. He didn't reverse split the stock, if you notice that. He just said, all right, we'll move away from NASDAQ and we'll go on the over-the-counter. I have to give him huge kudos. I have to give him huge props. I have to say, attaboy. And that stock is up to 46 cents. I mean, for a guy who's very honorable and smart, but for a guy who trusts whoever it is it Aubrey, or is it Chadron, or is it the lawyers, or is it Polar? small little group, somebody took advantage of shareholders in a massive way. And he trusts those guys, and I've never met those guys, so I don't have a basis. But he listened somehow, and what he did is just left NASDAQ. I think it's great. I'm impressed. Of course, the stock is still in the basement. Yes, I, Marty, I don't think it's necessary to use names, but if you feel compelled to, if you notice, I've tried to keep it privileged for the people who invest, but whatever. There'll be an update. I'll update. Right now, oh, I don't know what D is. German Shepherd? GSD. Golden. No, I don't know what the D means. I'm so sorry he has that. Yeah, John, you're going to hear from him what he thinks. My own view, which is really speculative, I think next week. I think this is just the prelude to whatever happens next week. I don't think anyone, German Shepherd dog, yeah. Whatever happens next week, I think will be it. I mean, other stocks have gone on for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I just have a feeling next week will be it, but nobody knows for sure. And I think it'll, like you say, Jean, I think it'll be higher. I looked at a chart, and we can do it again, but in my memory, there was sort of a target at whatever it means, somewhere around 26 if it broke through there. 5 was an important number. But anyway, 26, then 40, around there. To my memory, around 120, and then 200. And of course, the stock has been a lot higher in its history. But none of that's really relevant. What's relevant is they've turned the share price into a shuttlecock that they're going to hit back and forth over the net for as long as the game goes on. And once the game stops, the shuttlecock will sit over on the bench in the bag, and it'll have no more energy, and it won't go anywhere. So I think it's important to take money off the table, because to make back losses or dreams, which people may or may not have had with GTII or Finger back when, or CRTD, or MMAT, MULN, COSM, all these stocks, you can't make it all back in one roll of the dice. So it's good to book some profits. And the one thing is, we have other places to go. So it's not like you have to get out and go to a savings account, a money market. On the other hand, I do think if you hit it big over the next month or so, I could make the argument of just leaving your money aside for a while, because if you have a big win, the easiest way to give it up is to keep trading, It's bouncing, John, it's bouncing. Hey, Kenneth. Yeah, we're trying to keep up the good fight, although it's thank you, Carhito. Carprofen. So, Marty, just going back to finish answering, because I don't know what you're talking. This smaller raise I'm doing, telling you about, that you have to contact the company directly. That'll end. I think a good ending point is I mean, they could have closed at any point now, but I've got 2 or 3 people that want a little more time, and I've just been dragging them out. But I think a very logical time to finish it will be the Friday before Labor Day weekend. So that's one raise that'll be finished. The bigger raise is committed for. I'm not clear when that's going to close. They had a very long meeting, and it's very successful. They essentially an all-day meeting, something like 6.5 hours. And I believe they're going to fund, but they haven't yet. And I believe they're going to sign a commitment letter, but they haven't yet. But they're long-term investors. This is their 3rd due diligence meeting to the site and with the principals. So I really think it's going to get done, but I can't for sure tell you the date. To be safe, I would imagine we just say we don't know. It could be September, it could be October. And in the meantime, I'll try to keep working on raising that 5 million if I can. Nothing like competition to open the checkbooks of interested parties. Hey, Amit. And what a puppy dog. What a puppy dog. Who invented dogs? They're the best. So now it's up to 170. And we're just waiting for Ham to come in. If there's any questions I can answer them. Trying to think, oh, here. Somebody just sent me an update. Let me see if it has anything. Are you all right? You can go outside. It's okay. I think he's in pain. I also think he's having a hard time. Sometimes he likes to sit out on the deck. And if he leaves, he doesn't see me. So then he's going to think I'm gone. I don't know. I might be very self-centered on that solution. This is somebody I follow, Small Cap Investing. He's saying finger motion on its 6-month chart, double bottom at $1.70. MACD is moving up, starting to break above the moving average. And all right, here we go.
Oh, from Andy.
All right, you're live if you want to be.
That quick?
If you want to be, you're live. If you don't, I'll hang up. Huh?
I'm trying to put the air conditioning on the house. It's too hot. We had no air conditioning the last couple of days. It's cool.
Just don't bump your head on it.
Well, it's hot now. Just give me 1 second. Come on, I'm just gonna put you on mute. Give me 1 minute.
All right. I'll pick a better time to answer the phone.
Stop being a smart ass. I'm just closing the window. Hold on a second.
Hey, Donna. And hey, Annette. Are you all right?
Give me 1 second, William. Relax.
Maybe he's
All
missing.
right. Let me
Right.
get on the computer so I can see what's going on, so I know what the hell I'm talking about here. All right, last night, William, when you were traveling, I went on Ace's call last night on his YouTube, and many people asked me, give me some scoop on GDC. And the scoop on GDC is, they asked me, what do I know? And I was silent, and they said, you didn't say anything. Well, I don't know anything about it. I know the symbol. My friend, who I trust, is a very smart guy, was buying it. He got in a little too early. He did average down. He owns like $1 million something at 3. I spoke with him this morning, and he said, and this is straight from him, I told him what I had my friends doing, and he said that he didn't sell a share, that it's going way higher. And I said, are you fucking nuts? You're up $4 million, $4+ million. It was 7.5, and you didn't make a sell. So I don't know if my guy is nutty or it's going to work, or it's going higher, but you know what? That's the game. And you know what? If you want to stay, good luck. That's not my game. I like to move on to things that are going sideways. We still own a lot of GDC, but my crew is in the black all over the place. I think that if it went down to 50 cents, we would still be in the black. All right. So people I know are swinging and going for the home run swing here. I have no information. All I can do is tell you how I would play it would be buy the dips, sell the rips. And that's what I would do. And if you want to hold on to some stock, okay, you buy 1,000 shares, you sell 500. You can, at the end of the day, you can stay with 500. You can stay with 100. You can stay with 10,000, or you can stay with 1.5 million shares. Whatever you want to do, that's your business. All right, but the way I play the game is that I like to buy it when they don't like it, and when they do like it and come in for it, you start taking it, you give it back. You never go broke bringing the register, and you're never going to make it all back on one trade. I know some people are hurting. I speak to a gentleman out of Miami who's got his ass reamed in AMC. I'd never even played in AMC. I didn't even know it went up at the time. But I'm trying to help him to get back into the black. And, making 10, 25,000 on a day trade is a good place to be. That'll get you back, trying to make back some of those big losses. You're not going to just keep chopping wood until you get back. All right, so I think we got him down. We sold 85% of this position, and he now has 15% left. I said, now you can let it go. You have no money at risk. You're in the black, and now you got a nice trade. If it continues to go, you kill him. That's how it works. All right, unless you want to be the guy at the roulette wheel trying to bet it all every time so that you can keep hitting numbers. I said, that's not how I play. All right, so you could figure out your own little thing. And you can sit there. I thought it's going to the moon. I just gave it to people that think it's going higher. They're still staying here. But, people that have a family, have kids, grandkids, you got to be smart and try to stay alive. Am I correct, William?
Yeah, you are.
And that's the way I've always played the game. So you're asking my opinion? That's how I play the game. I said, my younger daughter, she sold stock yesterday. I didn't even know it. She bought it 100 shares back just to be there to try it. She paid $375 on the wipeout near the end of the day, or whatever it was, something like that, $475, whatever it was. And this morning, but I didn't even know it, she sold it north of 7 pre-market. And now she's trying to buy it back again. I mean, that's what I told you. I'm glad that my family's listening. Buy the dips, sell the rips. Listen, if you make 30 cents on 1,000 shares, it's $300 a trade. Do it 3 times a day, you're making $900. And you don't own anything. You don't know who the CEO is. You don't need to worry about anything. And like I said, whatever you want to hold on, you feel comfortable with, that's what you do. All right. And you know what? I agree that you should hold on to something. But if you're trying to make back money from big losses, you just got to keep bringing the register to make back those losses. That's just how it works. Not everybody's 100% in the stock market. All right. But I'm not in the game of gambling anymore. I'm not here trying to trade NVIDIA. I'm not here trying to buy things that are swinging wild. I'm not trying to day trade. I can do that for myself. I can't help people doing that. It's too fast. You guys can't keep up with it. It's a crazy game. And guess what, people? If you want to day trade, William, I don't think I ever told you about this. If you guys want to day trade and be that trader, you got to get up at 6:30 in the morning, and you got to stay alive around your computer till 8. Because after market last night, that BDC, which was broke down below 4, I think it was below 4, it was trading at 552 in the aftermarket last night. So I'm not saying, but you know what? If I paid $4 for it, it's 552 bid, and I bought 5,000, and I can make 7,500 before I go to bed. See you later. And you can say, well, it's going to open up tomorrow. I don't really give a shit, but it opens up tomorrow. They're just numbers. 7,500 in your pocket. It's a good day, good week, good month. And that's how I play the game. All right, so enough with GDC. People I know think it's going way higher. I do not have an opinion on it. I think it should go way higher, but it's 90 million. There's got to be 100 million now failed to deliver. And the number is 31 today, so add another 5 to the pile. The numbers just get bigger. No matter what happens, it's 56 trading days to go before Trump wins and Pat Byrne gets in here.
So what do you think of all the volume? And from yesterday to this morning, it's over 100 million shares.
Yeah,
have they covered anything?
There's a lot of back and forth, with the algorithm. So I can't really tell you, but
yeah,
when you see the assaults and the attacks straight down, I seen them yesterday. I looked at I was looking at the minute chart where they come in. You can see the volume, and 2 million would be sold at the market in like 34 seconds.
Right.
Those are attacks. Those are complete naked short attacks.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it turns and it bounces back up, and they weren't able to cover those numbers. So someone big is selling them short, naked, and a couple of small naked short sellers are folding. Guys short 1 million, 500,000. These day trading firm type guys, they got their asses free.
Yeah.
All right, they're the ones that are adding support, trying to cover. The big guys are trying to lay out more, whoever it is. I'm sure I think in the GDC there's got to be, right now there's got to be 500 shorts in the stock, and they fold at different times. They get bailed out, they got to buy in. There's all different people here now. So you get the guys trying to short 10,000 at a day trading firm, trying to hope it drops from 7 to 5.5, trying to buy it back. They're all around the stock now, and they add support to it.
Do they close at the end of the day to be flat over the weekend?
These guys blasted this morning. Day traders, they blasted, shorted, naked shorted this morning pre-market, right? 7, whatever. And they hope that what you see now with the bear rate pushing it down, they try to cover. That's what they do. They're trying to cover. You can see this. You can see the selling stops. It's 547 now bid. They tried to push it below 5. It bounced right back up, and there's no real selling. It's drying up. When it dries up like that, that's usually when it turns back up. I keep telling you, just look for the selling. You don't have to worry about the buying. Look for the selling. Now, that's enough on GDC. It's out of control. You could be there, not be there. I'm not talking about people buying it north of 5. I've never said that. We bought it going down from 370 all the way down to 80 cents. That's my range. And that's, so I'm not above here. I'm a seller above here only because I'm a flat, we're not rich, we're not Fidelity Management, not Stevie Cohen. I'm not running $20 billion. All right. So again, we're here to survive. Do I think it's going higher? Yes. Do I chase it? No, I'm not a chaser. Whatever I own at the bottom. I'm not chasing buying more. If you want to buy the dip, sell the rips, that's your business. So I can't help you with that. That's a gut trading. You got to learn how to trade to do that type of stuff. If you want to buy it and hold on and you think this short thing going to get busted, good luck. I told you what I know. That's it. And at the end of the day, 56 trading days. If these guys can short 100 million shares, good luck. It's coming to an end. Pat Byrne's coming with the hammer down the road. And for those who think that GDC is unbelievable, it shorts 100 million, Finger Motion's 230 million. Think about that for a second. This was only 90 million. We're at 230 million. And they were naked shorting today in Finger at 195. My friend told me he was watching it this morning. They were shorting it at 195, trying to stop the momentum. But there is no real selling. They're trying to short into any buying pressure to try to stop the momentum going through too. I told you my friend sold 600,000 shares. I don't know the actual dollar amount, but let's say it's $5. That's a lot of money. And they're going to somehow looking for stocks that are going sideways. And they asked me for ideas, and I gave them my opinions on a stock that I follow. So it's up to them when they step in. I know some of them were buying yesterday in finger motion, and they'll come when they come. All right. And that's how you, William was a broker. That's how you help people make money. They get into different names and they keep going along. That's how it works. Jeff Easton and his friends thought that we weren't able to come up with more money and more buying. But guess what? When you get a big victory in something, guess who comes? Money and buyers. So fuck you, Jeff Easton. We're alive and well. And yet, again, we know in 56 trading days, all right, it's going to be Pat Burns' show. And guess what? At 4 o'clock today, we're down to 50, what, 55? Right? I said 56. We're at 56. We're at 55. The days are flying off the calendar. Now, on top of that, William, we got Kennedy. He's going to hopefully.
Did that happen today yet? No.
I think it's Friday. I have someone that went to school with.
Isn't today Friday? Or am I out of it? Today's Thursday?
Today's Friday.
Yeah.
Today's Friday.
So it's today.
I'm trying to tell William it's Friday. I'm playing a game on him. My son yelled at me. Today's Thursday. William, wake up.
Today's Thursday?
It's only Thursday.
No.
That's what happens when you go away with a couple of girls on vacation for a couple of days. You're groggy.
I am groggy.
Anyway, I'm all listening. GDC, I've been following it for a while. You know it's in play. You see the same thing I see. I'll report on it. I'm not going to report on it like I have been reporting because it's in play. And the dice have been thrown or the wheel's been spun. Let's see what happens. I told you my people think it's going higher. And they're not selling it. I believe in buying the dip, selling the rips once it gets into play. After you make a nice hit, you can buy a dip, sell the rips, and you can become a trading pattern here. The same trading patterns existed in Tesla, NVIDIA, Apple. You can see them all have the same pattern. What I told you about buying the dip, sell the rips, that's a professional trading. You can learn to do that, and you can do that the rest of your days. All right, so learn how to do it. It's a great gift. It's a great thing to understand, and you can survive and make a nice living. Listen, like I told you, if you can make $100 3 times a day, 300 times 5 is 1,500 a week, right? Do the math.
But we had to wait 6 months for this trade. So
my friend who bought it, who said he's up, I forget how much percent. I think he bought whatever it was. I think he was up 130%, 6-month return. What's the average return people look for in a year, William? What's a good return?
8%.
You're up 130%, 6 months. That's the good. And you know what? People can't stand to look at things. Oh, it's got to go right now. You got to go right now. How many times have I told people on these calls, if you want to trade, go play Tesla, NVIDIA, whatever you want to go play. Go play with the activities. These stocks are not like that until they become like that. Now it's become like that. So it's a different game, but you have to be in it to win it. It's like the lottery. So that's the difference. If you don't have the patience, and most of us don't, because that's why we're not doctors. You have no patience, right? Remember that old joke?
I heard another bad joke on this trip. 4 out of 3 people have difficulty with arithmetic.
That's a bad joke.
It is a bad joke. 4 out of 3.
Well, all I know is numbers, and that's what I specialize in. The English language I'm not good at, but the numbers I'm good at. So that's what I do.
Well,
I can't spell. I type. I pound the keys like Hemingway. Drunk. That's what you told me, right?
more and curt, just to the point.
That's how I am.
I hit him.
Anyway, let's move on from this GDC thing. You guys know what I know. I don't need to bang my head against it. I'll report on it as I see, and that's all I can. When I hear something good, I'll tell you. Or if I see a trade in it, I will speak up about it. But for the most part, I did my part. I carried it for months. It worked. It's turned into a very profitable position. And that's all I can say about that. My friends, as they sell it, they're going to come and buy Finger Motion. Why are they buying Finger Motion? Because I've been presenting to them what I believe about Finger Motion is the same belief that I had in GDC at the time. Only in Finger Motion is much, 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 much more information on the tape about Finger Motion than it is about GDC. We know we've seen the CEO speak. We know the contracts. We know everything about the company, their partnerships between Munich Re, Pacific Life Re. This company has enormous edge over all these other companies. One asshole said to me, "Where's the revenue? This company's got all they have is big partnerships." Well, I like to tell people is that the company has partnerships with the biggest players in the world, and they're not partnerships like a friendship. It's not like they're our friends. Everyone's here to make money. They want something from Finger Motion. Finger Motion wants something like that. Okay, that's just how it goes. All right, so they're in the belief that they got Finger Motion has something they can make money from, which is data from those big reinsurance companies. The telecom is using Finger Motion for something else. The Chinese government is using Finger Motion for these emergency vehicles now. Everyone's got a partnership and they make money from it. This was a small company and now it's going to grow into a big company. That's what I see. You don't see it? Move along. There's nothing else I can tell you. I thought the stock doesn't act well. Why doesn't it act well? Well, if I could sell counterfeit shares all day long, I could do it. I can knock down any stock you want. All right? Anybody can do this transaction. Anybody can do it. All right? That's what you see. They manipulate everything. They want to manipulate. Here it is, for example. Let's look at KNW for a second. If anybody just stopped and go look at the news on KNW for the last 40 days, they did a toxic note with Lynn Partners for $12 million. They did 2 notes with a benchmark and their clients, one for 3.5 million, another one for $1 million something. They did 3 toxic notes within 40 days. They got stock at 20 cents. They got free warrants at 26 cents. Lynn Partner has a completely debt spiral financing on this thing, meaning they can convert stock at pennies. How is nobody selling 1 share today in this thing? It's worthless. I don't care what the company does. They probably issued a total of 75 million shares. I don't know the complete number, but it's massive. And they did it at 20 cents. And Lynn Partners hasn't even converted yet. Wait till they get hold of this thing and drive it to pennies. But yet there's no selling in it. It's dead in the water. Finger Motion always has a market maker trying to push it lower. There was a seller at 96, it moved to 95. Now they're down to 94. I posted every day for months all those little orders, 1 share, 2 shares, 3 shares, 5 shares, all day long, like a machine gun, all day long. How come this stock has all that selling? It's because they're screwed in Finger Motion, and they have control of that other stock. And anytime they want to wipe it out, they can. They're looking for suckers to come in and buy it so they can sell more at 30, 35 cents. It started at 90 when I reported on that. It's now down to 30. It should be below 20. All right, but no one in their right mind is short a 30-cent stock. You got to be an idiot. Unless you got the right to convert it at a penny. And that's what Lynn Partners does. So I just saw GDC started trading at 637 again. So, William, while we were on the call, I said buy the dip, sell the rip. So if anyone was buying it at 510, 520, 540, 550, you made yourself a quick 70 cents before they halted it again.
Did they halt it?
Yeah, 637.
Wow.
So again, you can see buy the dip, sell the rip works here.
So the halt's to keep it from running up, or is it for some other reason?
Yeah, I guess, they're just trying to slow the upward momentum, try to everyone to gather themselves. When the shorts get into panic, their balls get twisted, they just start panicking. It's like the running of the
So I don't understand. I can understand when human beings are handling the orders, but like out of trading places, buy, sell it. But when it's computers, do computers really get behind and they need time to sort their buys and sells? That's why they halt.
Computers I guess the computers are slow. They must be using a Commodore computer.
They're using Quotron,
These guys have the most sophisticated equipment in the world.
and they need a halt.
When the market goes against them, everything breaks.
Exactly.
People told me this morning they wanted to sell GDC north of 7 in pre-market, and Ameritrade and I think Schwab were blocking people, saying that their systems were broken. They couldn't do it. I said, that's strange. They always wanted to sell it. Now you can't even sell it. I mean, it's just remarkable that these guys have all the money in the world, and then all of a sudden their systems don't work.
Right.
I got me. I don't understand it. But again, everyone can see what's going on in GDC. It's at the point where you buy and sell, do what you have to do, or you can just sell your position, 80% of it, hold on to 20%, and you let it go. And if you held on to the 20%, for example, in GameStop, it went to 500. That 20% that you hold on to makes more than the 80% you sold, right? If it went to 0, you got 80. You made money, and you got your money off the table, and you're playing with FU money. That's why you do it.
Well, and I told you earlier, but I believe now is a little different because you have another stock to put it into. It's not like you're going into a money market or a savings account. You have an alternative. So the worst.
So anyway, listen. A GTII. I'll touch on it for a second. We're waiting for Richard Hoffman to give us an update from the court. I do not have Pacer. I do not have any way to get that information. So I wait for Richard. They said they were waiting the judge to rule on it. Richard is not the lawyer on it. There's another lawyer that's been funded and paid for by big holders. And we're waiting for that to come out, whatever it is. I know a company that wants to merge into GTII. Nothing can happen until that judge rules. So there's nothing to talk about. And one jerk saying that I cost people money in GTII, I showed the proof to him last night again. I said, have some balls, go to the SEC, show them the proof, and you get the answers. We tried 17 times already. All right, we just did it 2 weeks ago. We did it again. All right, so it's right there. Now, William, I don't know if you saw the big toad story again.
I saw it. I didn't read it in detail, but I saw it.
Well, it says in there that everyone is now turning state's evidence, and the Anson Fund is rumored to have offered the DOJ $50 billion to lower the charges, and they said no. And it says they're all turning on each other. Canaccord, the brokers from Canaccord, they mentioned all the names. Canaccord is the brokerage firm in Canada, and one of our shareholders told me a long time ago, he was the CEO, and I told him, Mr. P, I said, they are crooks. They've been notorious. They've been a gateway of selling stock into the U.S. for a long time. They should be shut down. What they did, Canaccord, for those of you who don't understand, it's a brokerage firm out of Canada. They tried to put lipstick on the firm. They started hiring analysts in the U.S. They've had analysts come out so that people think that they're a real firm. That, we hired this one guy paying him $1 million a year as an analyst, one well-respected analyst on the markets. So what they're doing is they're still backstabbing every American selling counterfeit shares, making shorting for all the hedge funds. They wanted to clean up their act and put out there roll out an analyst to show the world that they're a real company, but they're just a fraud, and they're using that poor guy as a tool to present that they're a good firm. They're just scumbags out of Canada, and they've been doing it for a long time. So that's just the way. There's other names in the article. If you read it, they're all giving each other up. What did we post on William? We posted on Twitter. We put it on the truck. Andrew left. What's he going to do? After he gets caught and charged, his court date, he has to start giving up everybody. And that's what I believe. And I believe the guy from Lynn Partners, Phil, whatever his name is, what's his name? You say it correctly all the time.
Oh, Lavalier.
Yes, he's from Toronto. Someone told me that a long time ago. These guys all know each other.
Of course.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was the kingpin and they all go out and get deals and bring it back to this character. And he's holding the naked short positions in some of these names. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised. Even our good friend Roger Rabbit had some ties to these characters. He did deals with them.
Poor guy.
So again, you know what it is. But so All these guys are giving each other up. The names will stop popping up. I told you 3 weeks ago, people are getting served. I told you what I heard. No one believed me. Oh, you're full of shit. Okay, now you can see it in black and white. And these guys are being served in documents. People are asking for documents. The DOJ takes time to build a case.
Wouldn't it be amazing if Trump were to win and appoint Robert Kennedy to the head of the FBI, you know, to the Attorney General? Wouldn't that be amazing?
About that. All we want to do is settle the trades. After what they do after that, I don't give a shit. Okay, I've been doing this too long.
Well, I mean, he would probably agree with you about settling the trade.
Oh, he knows about it. He already made a statement about naked shorts. He bought shares in GameStop.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, we have a source of funds. We have people that are making money in GDC. I hope it continues to go. As it goes, my friends will rotate into finger motion. I don't control when they do it. They do it at their leisure. I don't have I have no control over that. I pitched them on it. I gave them the idea. I told them the data. I showed them the contracts. I showed them everything that's on the tape. They understand how big these things are, and they come when they come. And it's funny, William. People look at GDC, and it was trading what? We watched it every day, 20,000, 30,000 shares, doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with Wall Street. Zero. No one had any interest in it. It was the ugly duckling of Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, now it's trading 100 million shares a day. Wall Street is all over it now, correct? That's how fast it turns, my friends. And we want Wall Street to come into finger motion, not at $2. We want them to come stepping in at 10. We don't want Wall Street buying it at 3 or 4, because Wall Street turns around. The guy buys 1 million shares at 4, he's going to sell it at 7. We don't want guys like that coming in. We want people to buy finger motion and buy it in small amounts, and it's like the little piranhas. We just keep picking at them. 800 here, 1,000 here, 2,000 here. The distribution just keeps picking at them. All right, because there's not the big holders that are going to come in later on, the big boys. When they come with the money, we want them to buy stocks at $10, $20, $30. Because people on this phone, we can't afford to buy $30 stocks. You can't afford to buy $100,000, $30 of a $30 stock. You may be able to buy $100,000 of a $2 stock, not a $30 stock. And that's when the big boys come. And you say, oh, how are they going to come? They're never going to come. Oh, really? I just showed you how they did it in GDC. It was 80 cents, William. Nobody was here, correct?
Yep, that's the thing. Nobody wants to buy when it's down, and everybody wants to get in while it goes up.
That's why I keep trying to tell people, you got to buy them when they're quiet, because once they turn, they're very hard to buy. That's what you're seeing now in GDC.
All right, started trading again.
I'm glad you can see it in real time, because it's a lesson to be learned how it works. I have a guy selling 50,000. He said between 7 and 7.5. So if he sells it, I'm sure he'll go buy finger motion.
Unbelievable that they halt it and then it's under control afterwards. They have all the advantages.
Finger motion, William. I just looking at finger motion. They hit the 192 bid for 200 shares. We have the odd lot sell program again. People, this is fraud in slow motion. I can't say it anymore. It's the same pattern. And everyone says, well, when's it going to go? When's it going to go? When's it going to go? It goes when it goes. Why did GDC go before finger motion? I don't know. I don't want to be, negative in any shape or form. But does anyone know what the news was yesterday in GDC? Does anyone know?
There was some crappy thing about it going on TikTok.
Tell me it again.
It was something about going on TikTok to talk about AI or something. It was just meaningless. I'll try to find it while you.
Basically, a friend of mine who owns a lot of stock called me up and says, "What's that fucking news?" I'm like, "What? I didn't even know anything about it." And I read it, and it said they opened up a TikTok account. What the hell?
It's like. So you and Britney Spears.
So I said, "Okay." I don't know what that means, but okay. I said, all right. Finger Motion announced a deal with all of China. They're going to put some device in every emergency vehicle with approval from the Chinese government. Even was awarded the one of its kind license to install this equipment by the Chinese government. Stock went down 30 cents.
Yeah.
On that type of news. Does anyone think that's strange that you get a big contract with the China? How many emergency vehicles do they have there? You said you saw a thing where it was I think it was 4 million, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just looking at it saying, these guys have potentially to install 4 million devices, whatever how big it is, right? Even if it's 1 million, whatever the profit margin is in this thing, Finger Motion has a huge revenue deal with no expense on the government of China. So the government of China is paying Finger Motion, let's say, $100 to install light bulbs. That's what they're doing. I don't know the actual device or whatever it is, but it's a major thing in the government of China. And it's lost 30 cents. The company rang the bell on the NASDAQ and went down $2.50. Everything this company's done has been under attack. But it's going to change. I'll speak about the special dividend for a second. I spoke to an attorney who specializes working with the SEC. He said if the government was going to ban, not allow the special dividend, they would have shut it down already. So he said it will get approved. He thinks it's going to happen. He thinks it'll happen in the next 2 weeks. Because the company said that they had to answer questions. Am I correct, William?
Mm-hmm.
What the CEO said that on his conference call, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so they answered questions. What the SEC comes to their lawyers, they ask questions. The company fills it out, sends it to the SEC. If they're okay with it, they give it the blessing, and it's off to the races. Pat Burns' final farewell to the shorts was he squeezed them by issuing a special dividend. That's how you kill them. I've been saying it for years. Pat Burns has proven it works. Dole Food has shown you that it works. GTI did it, and the stock went to 9. People were converting, buying stock at 275. The special warrant that was exercised for 275. The stock was 9, and the company raised money from people doing that. Not everyone did it because their brokers told them if you convert, we won't allow you to put the stock back in the system. So imagine if you had 10,000 shares, you convert the warrant to 275, you give the company the $27,000, and they have to give you 10,000 shares. Your brokerage firm said we won't take it back. So people were not converting, even though the stock was 9. Imagine you could buy stock at 275, and you could sell it at 9. But their brokers weren't allowing people to do it for what reason? Because they did not have the warrants to convert. So people were not doing it. One of my good friends who passed away, he called up every day, and they didn't allow him to do it every day. So the difference with Finger Motion is going to be an FNGRW. It will trade. GTI's dividend did not trade. This is going to trade. So if they're short 230 million times 10%, they're going to be short 23 million on the record date. Boom. All of a sudden, these things are, let's say, 10 cents to 50 cents. It's going to be I think it's a 2-year warrant. I'm not even sure. Let's say the exercise price is 3. That's the number I heard. So let's say it's $3. I got 2 years to have an option that doesn't expire for 2 years to buy stock at $3. So if the stock goes to 100, I can get I could buy stock at 3 from the company and sell it in the marketplace at 100. Make myself $97. All right. And I have 2 years of carrying that for free for 50 cents, 30 cents. It's like an option that doesn't expire. Now, how are these guys going to hold down those options? They got to sell more, right? I don't think they want to sell those there, but day one, they're going to have a liability of 23 million shares on top of the 230 million. All right, so this is just getting a lot tighter. These guys, the noose is getting around them. It's getting tighter and tighter. So I'm not concerned about it. And behind that backdrop, we have what? The company moving towards profitability, new deals, stronger deals. The company's funded. They don't need money. They did a private placement with their friends for $2 million the other day, and it's restricted for 6 months. Imagine if you bought in on that, everyone on this call, and the stock goes from here $2 to 20. You can't sell it. That's why people don't like to do it. And that's why people like Lynn Partners, they're full of shit. They never invest. They only naked short and invest the money they steal from the investors. That's what they do. If they wanted to invest, how come they're not writing checks for $12 million and they do it in parcels, right? That's how they do it, right?
Right.
They give you $2 million at a time.
Right. They do it
They
in
never
Trump.
give you. Yeah, they never give you. Oh, here's 12 million, because if they gave you 12 million without making any sales, they'd be screwed. Because if the stocks go down, they get wiped out. And
Right.
that's why Lynn Partners is always up 220%, and all the investors are wiped out. Just look at SYTA. And here we are. Let's go to KNW again, William. Debt spiral financing. Companies to be worth pennies. It's 30 cents. It hasn't traded since we spoke about it 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
How does this? Remember, every time, look at finger motion. They're moving it around, selling 100-share lots, trying to mark it down, because they need to hold this stock down. They can't have it get any momentum. And once it gets momentum, I put it the other day, William, if it goes to 220, look out, it's going to rock and roll, because that was the high the other day. Boom, right through it. $7, almost $8 now. Whatever, it went to almost $8 today.
Wow.
All right. So again, any questions from anybody?
Well, one guy, this is something you lecture me. He said, "I wish I had bought more GDC. He only had a little bit." And
Listen, no, don't ever get like that. Do not get like that.
blame it on me. I'm not picking on him.
Listen, it happens all the time to everybody. Be happy you had something, and I hope that you learned how to trade a short squeeze. If you're in the market, if you're 90 years old, then complain. If you're anywhere below 50, you use it as a learning experience. You got some real-time education. You got follow-up on information on it. You understand how it trades. You can see the patterns. And it's what you just learned, you can't learn in Harvard Business School. All right? You got that live, real-time experience. I don't care if it was one share. You got experience on it. And that's the experience you're going to carry into finger motion. But finger motion is very different than GDC. Because in GDC, I know nothing about it. I know as much as you do. I'm following somebody that I totally respected, and that's why I told you about it. All right, but I do understand trading when it gets going.
So,
and I don't need to speak to my friend to advise me how to stop trades. I can see it myself. I don't need him.
so on the trading, one guy's pointing out that it traded 15 times the float over the last,
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah. Okay.
That's normal for a market in Thailand, I guess. I can't believe it's happening in the most famous equity market in the world. It's complete fraud. That means everybody bought and sold stock 15 times. All the people that own it, the float, they sold it back and forth 15 times.
And he's also saying there were only 150,000 shares short in the stock, the real short, I guess. On GDC, I guess the short.
The real short?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at Susan Trimbath, who put a story out the other day about why borrow shares when you can make it short. No kidding, you don't pay any fees, right? You're just paying the fees to your prime broker. You're lying, and that's what you do.
Yeah, why
So
locate?
instead of borrowing shares, these guys hide the fact. You know how many people say to me, I don't see any short position in this stock because it doesn't show up. I expose the real short in finger motion to show you how they operate, and I hope you understood it. I've been documenting it for a year. When the stock was going towards 7.25, that was where they were going to die. They came in and threw the kitchen sink at us. Capybara, they borrowed shares. They were doing everything to hold it down, selling shares at the market to break it. And they did break it because counterfeiting does work. But now it's come to the point where the stock is here. the fundamentals are worth more than the price of the stock. So they carried this charade down too much now. They stayed too long at the dance, and now it's going to burn them. That's the difference. They're upside down now, and they know it, and they don't know what to do. And they never thought that this group of idiots would find another winner in the short squeeze market. They thought we were a bunch of idiots. I can tell by the bastards that attacked me. And all of a sudden now they can see that, okay, what's the latest winner? Well, here it is. I told you a couple of days ago. Here it is. These guys can't pick them. They can't pick their nose besides finding a stock.
So if the short's in trouble, are they the ones causing the halts?
It's a NASDAQ thing. I think it goes up 10% or 12%.
Why doesn't NASDAQ halt on the way down?
Again, NASDAQ. Listen, the regulators are complete fraud. What do you want me to tell you? It's their game. It's like a referee in a basketball game. It's you know what this game is? This is the Washington. What was the name of the Washington Generals? I think they used to play the Harlem Globetrotters. And their rigged game. This is what this is. This is the same thing.
Oh, okay.
FINRA, the SEC, the DTC. The game is completely rigged. But when you break them, that's when you get the greatest rewards. So finger motion has the greatest. I'm not saying the greatest. It has a huge naked short, and now the company, to me, has built up the fundamentals to actually break away from Wall Street. They don't need the money. They have their own people that are funding it. They don't need to go to Wall Street at all. We don't ever have to see the likes of a Lynn Partner anymore. And we have coming up a special dividend. We have coming up, I guess their earnings are coming out soon. I forgot the date. And we have coming up in 56 days or in another 4 hours, 55 trading days before Trump wins the election. Trump's throwing out Gary Gensler. Trump is going to put in Pat Byrne. And guess what? Heads are going to roll. That's it. That's what I see.
So this guy's pointing out that the stock can fall 40% a day. They don't halt, and then if it jumps 10%, yeah.
The game is. If you ever go to a hockey game, sometimes we used to say, when I used to go to the Ranger games all the time, we used to say, "Boy, the ice is like it's slanted. All the action is on the other side of the ice. Nothing in front of us." The Rangers would be attacking the other team, and they'd be shooting the puck the whole time. And we never get any action on our side of the field.
Right.
So you would say the field is slanted. So the playing field is not level; it's slanted to one side.
Right.
But the rules that slanted the game are disappearing now. The playing field is getting level. When it gets level, that's when we kill them. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. There's no real other questions. There are a couple stocks, RILY and FFIE.
Oh, that was the one that Riley that's getting killed, right?
Yeah, and the question is what's the size of the shorts, do you know?
And Riley?
Yeah.
I do not know. I just know that they had some security fraud problem. I believe that what you're seeing in Riley is going to happen to VIRT when the shit hits the fan with Pat Byrne. Virtue is the market maker like Citadel, only public. This company would be zero because that means these people have to trade, and obviously they cannot trade. They can only steal.
And
just like Citadel.
There's a company FFIE that went from 2 to 7 today. FFIE, I don't know anything about it, but in case you do. And somebody's asking, is the S1 for Finger coming out in September? I don't know, the obsession with it.
Faraday Future Intelligence Electric Class. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
It's up $5.450. The 52-week range in Frank IE, Frank Indian Eddie, is $1.52 to $2,133.12.
So they shorted it and reversed
and
split
reversed it and killed it and did whatever they had to do here.
So
So the investors in here, everyone
it's a
thinks
dead
that
cat bounce.
everyone thinks that They made a fortune today in the stock, everyone that owned it, but they already been wiped out in the last 52 weeks.
The
It
management.
looks like they've been probably wiped out 3 times already. I don't know, whatever that number is.
Yeah.
Just like CELU, just like Fuel Cell, FCELE just announced another reverse split. William, they did this is the third or fourth time. Frank, Charlie, Eddie, Larry, this was a high flyer that they're reversing again. Same pattern, same pattern, same patterns. I mean, they all do it. I mean, it's remarkable that they keep doing it. And I told you they did it to that company Root, ROOT.
Mm-hmm.
It went from $27 to $1, broke $1. They had a reversal. They're getting kicked off the NASDAQ. They were embarrassed to get kicked off the NASDAQ. They reversed it. I think it was 25 to 1, I think it was. It opened up back at $25. They knocked it down again to $6 or $7. And then the stock got short squeezed to 100 for $87. And now it's still 46. But everybody that owns it already got wiped out. Even though you see a $46 stock, you think you're doing great. You own a small amount than you did before. Nothing else, William?
So Riley has been followed by Cahodes.
Oh, Cahodes. Ask Cahodes. Do you want me to give you the story on Mark Cahodes? Mark Cahodes got caught by Patrick Byrne writing short stories using Gradient advisors. The people at Gradient, he would give them the stories. He would even before they put it out, he would actually correct it. And then he told them to hold it up and he shorted it before they came out. Mark Cahodes belongs in jail. Pat Byrne charged him $5 million to not prosecute him, but Mark Cahodes had to give up Goldman Sachs. That was his prime broker. He gave up Goldman Sachs. Pat Byrne sued Goldman Sachs and Merrill Lynch. He spent $30 million. He broke even, but that's when Pat Byrne found out about the easy to borrow, and Pat Byrne had information, and that's all helped him in squeezing the short from 3 to 130. But I gave you 5 years of history in 2 minutes, and I dove off. It's on the tip of my tongue. If you say it, I could just do it again. So if you want that story, go to Deep Capture and just put Mark Cahodes, Gradient Advisors. And you can read the story, how he wrote the stories. Pat Byrne busted them all. And that's the guy who's going to be the head of the SEC. He despises naked short sellers. Despises. And I know Pat Byrne well. And I talked about him on the call when I saw him in Miami. Remember I told you I saw him in Miami?
Yeah, you did.
That's right. And I told you I
You wondered where all your hair had gone.
He asked me, right? Yeah, that's a smart ass answer again. I told him I joined the military. But so I know him well. And as we get to the point when we get down the road here and it gets close, I will be with him on all the documentation on Think Motion so that we can actually roast these guys.
Do you think GDC will hit $10 today?
It's a good question. I think if it goes to the high of 710, you really could take off. It may take off tomorrow. You know, I don't listen. There's an afternoon margin call coming up. That's the next leg.
And then there's a long weekend. Do they want to be long or short that deal? I don't know. Or flat.
Is this a long weekend? I don't even know.
I don't think
holiday weekend? Is it a holiday weekend? I don't know.
I don't think
All
so.
I know, William, is that college football starts on Saturday. Florida State's playing Georgia Tech. We're favored by 11.5. And go Noles. That's it. I know that. I'll paint my pace. I'll do the war chant, and I'm ready to go.
So, do you have an update on T-Low hits a new low?
I put it up, T-Low. I mean, everyone saw the ABC report, just like William reported. William met with the gentleman. That's the one the guy passed.
Yeah, he's a good man. It really is sad.
But they saw the dogs. The dogs are terminally ill, cancer-ridden, and guess what? They're alive and they're well. They start human trials in the first quarter, I think, of next year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, but if that thing can save people's lives,
It's a good thing to short. If it can save lives, short it.
So the stock had a great day the other day. It started to move up towards 7, the IPO price. The IPO price, it still didn't make it to the IPO price. How's that? And they holding it down. They knocked it down from 680. They pushed it to 550. I think that's where it is now. I walked away for a second. And they're trying to hold it down. They don't want it to gain any momentum.
Yeah.
Now, the company can't come out and say, hey, the dog took a pill today at 12 and it took a big shit at 3:30 and he's walking and he's eating. They can't give it to you every hour. And the shorts try to take advantage of the time between each update. But the update is these pills are saving and extending lives. Imagine when they go through the rest of these trials. All right? I heard rumors that there's a drug company that wants in. I heard rumors there's a dog food company that wants in. All right? But I don't think the company wants to sell it cheap to anybody yet. Because imagine if you, how many pets worldwide. Would you give the pill to your dog?
I would. I want to do it right away.
So everybody wants to do it. I have a 13-year-old dog too. We all want to do it. They're part of our families. But yet these scumbags want to short it and kill it. I have no investment in the company. I'm just trying to tell people about this stuff. And that's how it goes. Who would short that stock? One guy bought the whole float. They're holding it down. And you don't think he knows what's going on, the guy? The investor? You know, again, I can't keep up every day on what the pills are doing every minute, but they obviously moving in the right direction. And I'm just trying to show you the destruction of these people, what they do. And think about these companies that are startups trying, like people go, oh, the revenue's not coming in, it should go higher. But you can't build a business in a minute. It just doesn't happen. But the crooks always want you to do that. They always want you to hurry up. You just got the contract. Where's the revenue? Hurry up. We want to see it. That's what they do. And it's impossible to do.
Yep.
But the Wall Street wants it in 30 seconds. You got a contract? Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? Listen, I don't want to keep everybody on all day. Again, GDC, I can't sit here and trade it for you all day long. I'm not going to do that. If you're nervous, get it down till you have a manageable position. If you're excited, you think it's going to go high, this is man up time. This is where you have to learn how to get a feeling for trading. I gave you my opinions. My friends think it's going higher. That doesn't mean it's not going lower. That's for sure. You know, hey, if you were the short seller, everyone on this call, what would you do? And don't tell me, oh, I'm just going to go cover. They don't do that. These guys have been winning for so long. They're trying to wiggle their way out of it. They're trying to convince people to sell. That's why they attack it down. They want you to bail out. That's the whole game. Let's scare these motherfuckers out. That's what they're trying to do. They know William's going to fucking shit his pants if the stock goes down $1. William can't afford to lose 10 grand. That's how they think. I can see them in the room. I know these type of people. Fuck these guys. Knock it down. Sell more. Timothy Sykes, guys like that. Sell it down. Fuck them all. Kramers, sell it down. Lynn Partners, fucking sell it down. Break their backs. That's what they're doing. Sell more. The prime broker calls them up. You can't keep doing this. I will give you another $50,000 in cash. Turn the other way. What do you think? That's how the game is played. That's all it is. It's all fraud. The game is completely slanted. It's like going to Atlantic City and you bet 27 rent. They got a big piece of cement in there. It'll never go into that full number. That's what they're doing. They're blocking numbers. That's all they do. And they let these shitheads have the power to just rob people. Think about that. They let a small group of shitheads rob everybody. Look at the big rats, Ken Griffin and these guys. The small ones. Andrew left. They finally caught somebody. I sent the thing to the FBI. Go look at Etsy, ETSY. They were selling counterfeit T-shirts. How did anybody find a counterfeit T-shirt online? That was a plan. The shorts got a vendor to sign up for Etsy. And they knew the counterfeit shares, the counterfeit T-shirt was going to go through that guy. Andrew Left wrote the story. He had direct knowledge of, I don't know how many vendors are on Etsy, but he knew exactly who was selling naked counterfeit T-shirts. Think about that. And you sit there and say, come on, they wouldn't do that. How much money did they make? 50 million? Shorting it down? You bet your ass they did that. And the DOJ just has to go back with the SEC, look at the trading patterns 4 days before the story came out. I guarantee you, Etsy, he hacked Peloton, all the names that he was in, EXAS, you'll see the same names. William, they put a place where he lived in Boca Raton. I played pickleball outside that the walls. There's a photo. I think it's called the Royal Palm, I think it's called, the community. And you can't see into it. There's a big wall, but there's $1 million. He had a $16 million home. He sold it. I mean, I was passed by it. I saw the security guys out front of it. I played in a park on the other side of the road. But, I mean, it's so exclusive. You know, you can't go in there. He sold it already. What's he doing, Ray? He's getting rid of all his assets. What, are you kidding me? He's going to jail. How many people went through Andrew Left? Hey, Andrew, here's $1 million. Beat the shit out of this stock. You get it down, I'll give you $2 million. You short 10 million, it goes down 20 points. You make 20 million, you give him 2. I'll do that all day long. You don't think guys like Savvy Management are in there, Lynn Partners are in there? You don't think the Kramers were knocking on his door? They all knock on the door. Andrew Left's door was probably like a revolving door. That's how many people went through it there, all the short sellers. Hey, beat my stock up. Go on TV, kill it. That's what they were doing. And they would make up any stories possible, anything to break the back. Anything else, William?
Not really.
It's beautiful outside today. I just want to go. I'm going to go putz around and go play ball this afternoon. Do you know everything I know? All I know is 56 becomes 55. The company's dividend, I expect it to come out shortly. That's based on speaking to an SEC attorney that worked with SEC people on dividends, working with them, getting approval on things. All right. So I expect that to happen. We got 55 days to go there. We got their revenue coming out. The company's, putting out news all the time now. Go watch the CEO's videos. This is not your normal $2 stock. This should be a stock between $5 and $10, in my opinion. This stock is going to 100, in my opinion, on fundamentals. Forget the short squeeze. I thought it was going to 100, just based on doing business in the biggest market in the world. But Lynn Partners is trapped. Whoever they're working with offshore hiding the trades, they're all trapped. And they're definitely afraid of letting it go up. And if I was to short in Finger Motion or GDC or whatever these names are, GDC, they should have let it go to 15, 20. Let all the investors come on in and then slaughter it. They let it go up a little bit and they try to beat it back down. Same thing in Finger Motion. It goes up a little bit, hurry up, mark it back down. Why? If they thought they can win, they would let it go up. They can't win, and that's why they knock it down. Very easy. Anything else?
No. Are you going to move?
All right, so GDC was just 650 something. It's now 589. That was a short trying to cover. They drove it up and they pushed it down. And that's how it works. And once again, for the people that buy the dip, sell the rips, if they push it down to 550, you want to buy 1,000 shares, you buy 100 at 550, 100 at 545, 100 at 540. You buy it all the way down, you get an average price, let's say 530, it runs back to 6, you sell your 1,000, you made 6 minus 530 average, you make 70 cents, so 60 cents is $600. And the people do this all day long. The volume is cut in half. It was 100 million yesterday. It's down to 36, right? So what is it, 50 million share day? And when it starts drying up like that, the shorts are more and more trapped. I gave you my opinion. My portfolio is getting down to less and less stocks that I'm following. I'm down to, I had GDC. I don't have to really worry about that anymore. And you know what? I'm focusing on finger motion. Going into 55 days, this is where I'm at. I hear other names. I'm not really going to expand on it. I don't want to become a tout service. I don't want to do that. I'm telling you everything I'm hearing. But again, this is what I'm focusing on. This is a life-changing situation. And imagine if you bought 1 million shares of GDC at $1. You had $1 million, and you just sold it at $6. You made $5 million on one. Life-changing, correct? If you had the money. If you bought 10,000 and you just sold it at $6, you made 50,000. Right? You have a mortgage. You just paid off half. You could paid off your mortgage. You could have went on vacation around the world. Life-changing. Right? The company didn't have the cure for cancer. CBM's $1.10. They're working on a cure for cancer for head and neck. Northwest Bio is 40 cents working on brain cancer, going nowhere. GDC opened a TikTok account and went up how many percent? From 1 to 7, almost 8. All right. Finger Motion has a real business, real company. It's all on the tape. It's right there. Pat Burns' dividend works. That's what's coming out next, along with whatever else the company's doing. Company just got the only license to do that installation and for all the emergency Finger Motion had the license, the only license in the whole country, the first one of its kind. It says it in the press release. In the country of China, to install stuff in emergency response vehicles in China. People can't even get into China. Finger Motion is installing things. First of all, they're in the telecom communication buildings. Second, now they're installing things in their emergency vehicles. You have to really pitch your head on a rock if you can't figure out that this company is well connected in China. All right, this company is well connected in China. And that's why companies want to do business with them, because it's pretty obvious they can see it. How they generate and how fast they can move, that's a different story. It's not easy to become a monster company in 10 minutes. But they're growing it, and I see it growing. That's how I see it. You don't see it? Sell it. I don't give a shit. All right, everyone, I'm done for today. I'll be reporting on Twitter. I'll be, watching it on my phone. I'm walking around doing stuff. I'm going to go play ball. But again, this shit's going to hit the fan. I'm focusing on finger going out. We got 56 days. We'll be down to 55 in 3.5 hours or 3 hours, William. And I'm very pleased that Pat Burns is coming. That's all I need to know. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you.
All ended.
All right. So, hi, PS71 and everybody else. I think I'm going to end it here because I'm knackered. And maybe come on later if something happens, but certainly come on tomorrow. I think we should learn our lessons that we need to take money off the table when things work. But on the other hand, you've been waiting so long, and it just seems like, higher numbers will come. But we'll find out. So, hi all, bye all. Anyway, so I'm going to sign out. I'm just, I want to make sure my dog's okay. I like these ideas, Librella and Rimadyl, and I like FUKITAL too. But I just want to make sure he's all right. And anyway, there'll be more to come. Maybe not today, but I would guess that there's more upside later today in GDC. So anyway, Peace to everyone, and we'll talk later.